Hi, this is Thomas. Just wanting to bring you through a recent experience I had around presenting live events to include more remote workers. So, uh, why live events? And I'm not just talking about general meetings here held in MS Teams or Zoom. I'm talking about large scale events which you'd consider bigger than a large meeting, more than 30, 40 people, up to say 1,000 people. And I guess why that? Well, remote working is here to stay now. We can all do these smaller meetings, but many businesses still struggle with larger in-person events. And without knowing how to share them out to a remote audience, there's sometimes an expectation that you must come into the office. And this is fine for those for which that's an easy thing, but less fine for those who just feel excluded as a result of that instead. So I guess what this is about is sharing that it doesn't need to be that way. We have the tools already. MS Teams, Zoom, these great platforms that scale. It's not just about making sure your team of 10 or 20 are able to communicate. This is now talking about org-wide communications and really making that accessible for all of your people. So when you get to those sorts of events, a laptop webcam and the speakers and the microphones aren't really enough. So what do we have to augment that? Well, we can plug in external cameras, microphones, and other accessories to make that possible. So when it comes to a camera, here are a couple of suggestions. You can go with the cheap and cheerful, proportional results there, all the way through to a relatively professional or sort of enthusiast level camera, anywhere from $130 to $2,500 for these examples. Once you've figured out what the balance of those features are for you, then you can start to think about what sort of audio you're going to plug into that. And this is important because there are lots of filters on MS Teams that mean that it will cut out a lot of sound if you don't have a clear signal for the presenter. So what we do is we have a look at these three options. We have a speakerphone, which is good. It's what I'm using right now, actually, which is a really good all-rounder. But then what if we have background noise? We have wind, we have industrial noise even behind. Well, then we can look at using a wireless lapel microphone. Or if you want something that can move around with an external camera, if you are on the move, then a shotgun microphone gives quite directional pickup and is good up to about 5 meters. So the challenges of each of those technologies is on the page, and some of them connect to an external camera and some of them connect straight to a laptop through USB. Last of all, you want to be sure that you can connect it all up together. Most of these options can, the external cameras can connect through a HDMI to USB capture card. Now this is something that not many people know about, which is really from the live streaming gaming area, but this is the secret sauce that takes you from a many $1,000 MS Teams room setup through to a more accessible and mobile, flexible type setup with these modular elements I'm talking about today. So you want your video feeds to be relatively smooth. If you've got someone hand holding a camera, it can be really janky and make everyone online a little bit sick, especially if they're watching for a while. So let's remove that fatigue by giving some stability with a tripod. And lastly, when it comes to those microphones, sometimes it's really convenient to mount them somewhere closer to the speaker. The closer you can get to a speaker, the clearer the sound with any of these audio solutions. So most of these suggestions come from some reflection I went through after a really fortunate outcome at the AMPS Awards. It was 800 people from Synergy who all came together to hear who the annual awards winners would be. I ended up getting the Innovation Award, the annual award there, which is a great surprise. And I wrote about how that all came together in a bit more of a long form at this blog. So click through for a bit more information, but otherwise Thanks for hearing my insights, and I look forward to sharing more with you going forward. See ya.